The open road at night, a ribbon of asphalt unspooling under a canopy of stars. It should feel like freedom, but what if it feels like fear? What if the road leads not to a destination, but to dread? We're talking about ghost roads, those stretches of highway where asphalt meets the afterlife. Tonight, we're driving down 3 of these haunted highways, roads where the veil between our world and the next wears thin. Buckle up as we explore the legends, the lore, and the chilling encounters that have cemented these roads in the annals of the paranormal. This is 3, the Ghost Roads Highways with No End Horror Story. Our first stop takes us deep into the heartland, where the night is as dark as the secrets it holds. Here lies a desolate stretch of highway known only as Route 666, a name that sends shivers down the spine of those who hear it. Locals call it the Devil's Pass, a name whispered with a mix of fear and respect, a place where the ordinary rules of the world seem to fade away. Legend has it that Route 666 was once a bustling highway, a vital artery connecting rural towns, a lifeline for many. But that was before the storm, a tempest so fierce, so unnatural, that it seemed to swallow the very light from the sky, leaving only darkness in its wake. The storm raged for days, and when it finally subsided, Route 666 was different, forever changed by the wrath of nature. The towns it once connected were gone, vanished without a trace, as if they had never existed at all. The road itself seemed to twist and turn in on itself, the asphalt cracked and broken as if ravaged by an unseen force, a testament to the storm's fury. Those who dare to drive Route 666 at night tell of strange lights dancing on the horizon, flickering like ghostly beacons in the darkness. Phantom hitchhikers who vanish into thin air, leaving behind only a chill in the air and a sense of unease, and the unsettling feeling of being watched by unseen eyes, eyes that seem to follow your every move. Some say the missing townsfolk still wander the highway, their souls trapped between this world and the next, forever searching for a way home. Others whisper of a shadowy figure, a malevolent entity that stalks the road, preying on those foolish enough to brave its path, a dark presence that feeds on fear. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. Route 666 is a place where the laws of reality break down, where the line between the living and the dead blurs, a phantom highway where the living and the dead collide, a place where the past and present intertwine in a dance of shadows and light. Our journey takes us now to the desolate plains of the Southwest, where a lonely stretch of highway known as Route 13 stretches into the endless horizon. They call it the Endless Path, a road that seems to go on forever, a black ribbon against the stark landscape. Travelers passing through this barren expanse report a strange phenomenon. Time seems to warp and distort. Hours can pass in what feels like minutes and vice versa. The road seems to stretch and contract, defying all sense of distance and logic. Some say the road is haunted by the spirits of Native American travelers, their souls tethered to the land they once roamed. Others believe it's a place where the veil between dimensions is thin, a gateway to realms beyond our understanding. One chilling tale tells of a young couple driving Route 13 late one night. They were heading home from a vacation, eager to return to their normal lives. But as they drove, the road seemed to stretch on endlessly. The landscape remained unchanged, a monotonous blur of sand and scrub. Hours turned into days, or so it seemed. Their supplies dwindled, their hope fading with each passing mile. Just when they were about to give in to despair, they stumbled upon a small diner, a beacon of light in the desolate landscape. They were greeted by a kindly old woman, her face etched with wisdom and a hint of sadness. She offered them food and shelter, a warm respite from the unforgiving road. But as the couple ate, they noticed something strange. The diner was filled with other travelers, but they all seemed off. Their eyes were vacant, their movements mechanical, their voices flat and devoid of emotion. It was as if they were mere shells, their souls hollowed out by some unseen force. The couple fled the diner in terror, back to their car and the endless road. They drove until they ran out of gas, stranded in the middle of nowhere. As the sun rose, they looked around and realized they were no longer on Route 13. The landscape had changed, transformed into a lush forest they had never seen before. To this day, no one knows what became of the young couple, or where they ended up. Some say they stumbled into another dimension, trapped forever in a realm beyond our own. Others believe they found a hidden paradise, a place untouched by time and the outside world. There are even whispers of ancient ruins hidden within the forest, remnants of a civilization lost to history. Perhaps the couple discovered these secrets, unraveling mysteries that have eluded mankind for centuries. The transition from desert to forest remains a mystery, a surreal blend of two worlds. The endless path, it seems, is not just a road, but a journey into the unknown, where reality and imagination blur. And so the legend of Route 13 continues, a tale of mystery, wonder, and the unending quest for answers. Our final destination takes us to the fog-shrouded California coast, where a winding stretch of highway known as Highway 1 clings precariously to the cliffs, offering breathtaking views and heart-stopping drops. This is no ordinary road. This is Highway 1, a route that has captured the imagination of travelers for decades. It's a place where the Pacific's fury meets the mysteries of the deep, creating a dramatic and often dangerous landscape. But there's a stretch of Highway 1 that inspires more than just awe. It inspires fear, a fear that has been passed down through generations. They call it the Vanishing Route, a name that sends chills down the spine of even the most seasoned drivers. This stretch of asphalt is notorious for unexplained disappearances, a place where the line between reality and the supernatural blurs. Cars vanish without a trace, their drivers never to be seen again, leaving behind only questions and fear. Some blame the dense fog that often blankets the road, a fog so thick it feels like a living entity. This fog reduces visibility to mere feet, making every turn a leap of faith. Others whisper of ancient curses and restless spirits, tales that have been told around campfires and in hushed tones for years. They claim the road is haunted by the ghosts of those lost at sea, spirits who wander the earth in search of peace. One particularly chilling tale speaks of a young woman driving home along the vanishing route late one night, a night that would change her life forever. The fog was thick, swirling around her car like a ghostly shroud, making her feel as if she were driving through a dream. She could barely see the road ahead, the world outside her car reduced to shadows and shapes. The only sound was the rhythmic thud of her wipers against the windshield, a sound that seemed to echo in the silence. Suddenly, her headlights flickered and died, plunging her into darkness, a darkness that felt almost tangible. Panic surged through her as she fumbled for her phone, her hands shaking with fear. Her heart pounded against her ribs, each beat a reminder of her vulnerability. Just as she managed to unlock it, a sense of relief washed over her, but it was short-lived. A pair of headlights appeared in her rearview mirror, blindingly bright in the darkness, a beacon of hope in her moment of despair. Relief washed over her. Someone else was on the road, someone who could help her. Maybe they could help, she thought, her mind racing with possibilities. She pulled over to the side of the road, her hazard lights blinking feebly in the fog, a small signal in the vast darkness. The other car pulled up behind her, its headlights illuminating the swirling mist, casting eerie shadows on the road. The other car pulled up behind her, its headlights illuminating the swirling mist. The other car pulled up behind her, its headlights illuminating the swirling mist. The other car pulled up behind her, its headlights illuminating the swirling mist. A figure emerged from the driver's seat, a tall, shadowy form that sent shivers down her spine. As the figure approached her car, she could make out a long, flowing coat and a wide-brimmed hat that obscured its face. As the figure approached her car, she could make out a long, flowing coat and a wide-brimmed hat that obscured its face. She could make out a long, flowing coat and a wide-brimmed hat that obscured its face. She rolled down her window a crack, her voice trembling as she spoke. "Excuse me," she called out. "My car seems to have died. Could you possibly help me?" Her voice was barely more than a whisper, filled with a mix of hope and fear. "My car seems to have died. Could you possibly help me? Could you possibly help me?" The figure paused, its head tilting slightly as if listening to something she couldn't hear. The figure paused, its head tilting slightly as if listening to something she couldn't hear. The figure paused, its head tilting slightly as if listening to something she couldn't hear. Then it slowly reached out a gloved hand towards her car, a gesture that felt both menacing and surreal. The young woman recoiled in fear, her instincts screaming at her to run, to get away from this mysterious figure. Her instincts screamed at her to run, to get away from this mysterious figure. She slammed her foot on the accelerator, her car lurching forward into the blinding fog, her heart pounding in her chest. Her car lurching forward into the blinding fog, she didn't dare look back, her heart hammering in her chest. She didn't dare look back. her heart hammering in her chest, her mind racing with fear and adrenaline. She drove until she reached a brightly lit gas station, her nerves frayed but her body intact, a small victory in the face of terror. She drove until she reached a brightly lit gas station, her nerves frayed but her body intact. Her nerves frayed but her body intact. She told the attendant about the encounter, her voice still shaking with fear. She told the attendant about the encounter, her voice still shaking with fear. The attendant listened patiently, his face etched with a mixture of pity and understanding, a look that made her feel both comforted and unnerved. His face etched with a mixture of pity and understanding. "You're not the first to tell that story," he said, his voice low and grave, a tone that suggested he had heard this tale many times before, his voice low and grave. "They say the vanishing route is haunted by the ghost of a highwayman, a shadowy figure who preys on lone travelers, a specter that has become a part of local legend, a shadowy figure who preys on lone travelers." The young woman never drove the vanishing route again, forever haunted by the memory of that foggy night and the chilling encounter that could have cost her her life. Forever haunted by the memory of that foggy night and the chilling encounter that could have cost her her life. Route 666, Route 13, Highway 1. These are just a few of the roads that wind their way through our nightmares, places where the line between reality and the supernatural blurs. Are these stories just legends, campfire tales meant to send shivers down our spines? Or is there something more to these ghost roads, something ancient and unknowable that we can't explain? I'll let you decide. But the next time you find yourself driving down a dark and lonely road, remember the stories we've shared tonight. And if you ever encounter something you can't explain, something that sends a chill down your spine, tell me about it in the comments below. Until next time, drive safe and sleep tight.